Theoretical fact, beta decay, a neutron in the nucleus decays emitting an electron. When electron jumps, it leaves a vacancy. That vacancy is called as a positive hole. Irrespective of the operation, either addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, errors are always added. If you have understood the theory well, arriving at the solutions is very, very easy. Moving on to the next question. 41st. The period of revolution of an electron revolving in the nth orbit of hydrogen atom. He is asking us to relate the period of revolution of an electron to the orbit of hydrogen atom. Always remember, period of revolution is proportional to n cube. This is a conceptual question. Period of revolution is proportional to cube of the orbit number. 42nd. Angular momentum of an electron in the hydrogen atom is 3h divided by 2 pi, where h is Planck's constant. Kinetic energy of the electron has to be calculated. Angular momentum of an electron in hydrogen atom is 3h divided by 2 pi. So we know from quantization rule, mvr equals nh by 2 pi. This is Bohr's quantization principle. Angular momentum is nh by 2 pi. What is given? mvr is 3h by 2 pi. On comparison, it means n is equal to 3. So the orbit number is 3. What is the kinetic energy of an electron in the third orbit? If you have studied your hydrogen spectrum, if n is 3, then the orbit number will be 1.51 electron volt. Now, this is the typical diagram of the alpha ray scattering experiment. You see, at A dash, the particles have traveled straight without any deviation. There is a straight line without any deviation, which means at A dash, most of the particles have traveled. At B dash, there is complete coming back of the particles. Particles are reflected back to the initial point. So minimum particles are scattered here. So as an option, A dash will be maximum and B dash will be minimum. So the answer will be A dash will be maximum and this has to be B dash where it is minimum. Two protons are kept at a separation of 10 nanometers. Fn and Fe are the nuclear force and electromagnetic force. Two protons are separated by a distance of 10 nanometers. Distance of separation between two protons is 10 nanometers. When will the nuclear force between them be maximum? We told only when they are separated by 2 Fermi distance or by a distance of 2 into 10 power minus 15 meters. Now, there is a considerable separation, more than 2 into 10 power minus 15 meters, which means nuclear force has to saturate. If the distance is greater than 2 Fermis, nuclear forces saturate. Therefore, we observe that Fe is very much greater than Fn. Why? Separation is very much greater than 2 Fermis. During beta decay, and neutron in the nucleus decays emitting an electron. Known fact, theoretical fact, beta decay, a neutron in the nucleus decays emitting an electron. Now, 220 volt AC supply is connected between the points A and C. You can see there is a diode, capacitor. 220 volts AC supply is connected between the points A and B. What will be the potential difference across the capacitor? Potential difference across the capacitor will be the maximum potential difference, which is V naught. So, potential difference across the capacitor here is maximum potential difference V naught. What is this 220 volts RMS value? So, we know VRMS is again V naught by root 2, or V naught is VRMS root 2, which is 220 root 2 volts. So always remember diode, capacitor. So here you have maximum potential, output potential. So it is V naught by root 2. Direct one. In the following circuit, what is the value of P? P is 0, Q is 1. Your timer circuit. You can refer your books for the tables. A positive hole in a semiconductor is vacancy created when an electron leaves a covalent bond. You say hole, it is nothing but a vacancy. When electron jumps, it leaves a vacancy. That vacancy is called as a positive hole. Two long, straight, parallel wires with distance 2d apart. They carry current. Equal currents flow through the plane of the paper. Variation of the magnetic field along the line XX dash has to be shown. Now, how do we calculate magnetic field due to a straight wire? It is mu naught by 4 pi I by D, which means magnetic field is inversely proportional to distance. So, which is the correct option where magnetic field is inversely proportional to distance? So, along the axis, XX dash has to be calculated. Use this relation. Take this as an assignment. Note the correct graph. Now, a cylindrical wire has mass so much, radius so many millimeters, and length so many centimeters. Maximum percentage error in the measurement of density. We all know density is mass by volume, mass by area into length into volume, or mass by pi r square length into volume. Percentage error in the measurement of density. So first I calculate relative error. Delta rho by rho is delta m by m plus this itself A into L is volume plus R square. So 2 delta R by R plus 1 delta L by L. This is rule 3 pertaining to errors. Illondu division sign irbodu. Irrespective of the operation, either addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, errors are always added. So this is delta M error in the measurement of mass 3 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 3 into 10 power minus 1 plus 2 error in the measurement of radius 5 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 5 into 10 power minus 1 plus 1 into length. This is again 0.06 students. 6 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 6 into 10 power minus 1. So this becomes, there is a 10 power minus 2 plus 2 into 10 power minus 2 plus 1 into 10 power minus 2. So this is 4 into 10 power minus 2. But percentage error into 100, which is 2. So the answer is 4. So this is how we are calculating the error. A metro station. Girl walks up a stationary escalator in 20 seconds. If she remains stationary in the escalator, then the escalator takes her up in 30 seconds. Then time taken T will be T1 T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 12 meter per second, vertically downwards. Velocity of the rain 12 meter per second. A woman rides a bicycle with a speed of 12 meter per second in east to west direction. Again, a woman with 12 meter per second. What is the direction with which she should hold the umbrella? When he says holding the umbrella, it means it is with respect to equilibrium. So that is the resultant of velocity of the woman and velocity of the rain. So this is again 12 meter per second. So from this, tan theta is 12 by 12. Tan theta is 1, or theta is 45 degrees towards east. So 45 degrees towards east is the answer. Now, one end of a string of length L is connected to a particle of mass m and a small peg on a smooth horizontal table. If the particle moves in a circle with a speed v, then what is the net force on the particle? Particle is moving in a circle. Very clearly he says circular motion. Particle moves in a circle. There is a force acting towards the center. That force is called centripetal force, and it is always equal to the tension in the string. So the answer is C, which is T. So particle rotating about a circular path, force acting towards the center, that is what is equal to tension, which is nothing but the centripetal force. A body is initially at rest. It undergoes one-dimensional motion with constant acceleration. Wherever there is one-dimensional motion with constant acceleration, power is always directly proportional to time. Moment of inertia about x-axis, moment of inertia about y-axis. I want radius of gyration about z-axis. X-axis, y-axis, z-axis. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. So I use perpendicular moment of inertia based on perpendicular axis theorem, which says that Iz should be the sum of Ix plus Iy. This is moment of inertia. In terms of radius of gyration, mk square, moment of inertia is mr square generally. When it is radius of gyration, k. This is 0.2 plus 0.3, 0.5, or k square is 0.5 divided by mass 2 kgs, which is 1 by 4, or k is 1 by 2, 0.5 meter or 50 centimeter is the answer. The value of acceleration due to gravity at a height 10 kilometer from the surface of the earth is x. So above height, g dash is g 1 minus 2h by r. If you consider the depth, g dash is g 1 minus d by r. It is given that g dash is equal to this, from which d is 2 times h. So 2 into 10, 20 kilometer should be the answer. Basic. Young's modulus of a perfect rigid body. For a perfect rigid body, change in length is 0. No change in length. So Young's modulus is force divided by area into L divided by dl. dl is 0. Therefore, Young's modulus becomes equal to infinity. A wheel starting from rest gains an angular velocity of 10 radian per second. Starting from rest, omega 1 is 0, initial angular velocity. Omega 2 is 10 radian per second. After uniformly accelerated, keyword uniformly accelerated for 5 seconds. The total angle through which it is turned, angle theta. So we know angular velocity is angular displacement by time, which means angular displacement is omega into t. Now what is this omega? Very clearly, the body is uniformly accelerated. So it is omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2 into t, which is theta equals 10 by 2, 5, 5 into 5, 25 radians should be the answer. So the answer is 25 radians. The last one, students. Iceberg floats in water with part of it submerged. Titanic nodidira. Iceberg is floating in water. Part of it is submerged. What is the fraction of volume of iceberg submerged if the density of ice is 0.917 gram per centimeter cube? Now he says, what is the fraction of volume of iceberg submerged? So I use equation of continuity. Volume submerged into density submerged is initial volume into initial density. So I want fraction. Initial volume by volume submerged is density submerged by density initial. Density submerged is 0.917. Initial density of ice 1. So 0.917 should be the answer. So my dear students, if you have observed, out of 60, there was no question which was really giving a mind blower. As I told, if you have understood the theory well, arriving at the solutions is very, very easy. So conceptual depth is important. Again, hope for the best. I wish a best of luck to all of y'all. Have a prosperous professional course. Thank you.